I think the color of your skin or how you look or the shape of your body, the size or the weight of your body, I don't think these should ever be a measure for how badass someone can be. The story is authentic anyway because it's mine. It's coming from me, it's coming from my mom. Suddenly in season two, whatever was happening in the show in terms of the script, which was fiction, started to happen in real life. It was bizarre.
And he is designer who turned an online sensation with her debut show. Masaba Gupta is a woman of many talents. I talked to her today about her journey into the world of acting in this episode of Filmfare OTT Showcase, a prelude to the MyGlamm Filmfare OTT Awards 2021. Thank you for being on my OTT Showcase.
Thank you, Jitesh, as always.
So my first question to you is, how much pressure is there when you do a sequel to a hugely successful show? Because people, they do a lot of jugaad. Come on, now this is successful, so let's just quickly make another sequel. And so was there pressure to deliver and audience expectations?
uh, I have to say there was, but not from the point of view of what's really going to go into the script or what's really going to be the story, because the story is authentic anyway because it's mine. It's coming from me, it's coming from my mom. And whether it's the fictional parts or it's the reality parts, they're all coming from us. So we just feel like, chalo, pasand bhi nahi aaya to theek hai, because at least हमने try to किया, you know. But I think there was performance pressure for me because I think in the first season there was obviously a lot of surprise that I could possibly be comfortable in front of the camera. I don't want to say act, but I want to say be comfortable in front of the camera. But I just wondered, okay, in second season, what can I do that will also take people by surprise? So there's enough of that in there as well. But I think I just like doing that. I just don't want to constantly give people what they know they like or what they know they're comfortable with. The idea was, how do we push them to say, okay, here's something else we've tried, and what do you think? So I think that was my pressure. But yeah, we didn't want to become lazy. I think that was the endeavor. But that's something that the director, producer, everyone was on the same page about, that we will not become lazy and we will learn from our mistakes from season one, more importantly.
See, it was almost like a meta serial, it's autobiographical. And
Yeah.
did you feel, oh, wow, this is also voyeuristic at any time? Like while doing, say, a particular scene or something, shit, I've actually lived this with my mom.
So with my mom, pretty much all the scenes, because that's exactly who we are. A lot of the dialogue is something that the both of us actually sit down and, work on before we start filming. And that was kind of like reliving it. But I have to say that suddenly in season two, whatever was happening in the show in terms of the script, which was fiction, started to happen in real life. It was bizarre. And up until today, it started to happen. So I don't know whether life is imitating art or art is imitating life anymore. I don't know the difference. But yeah, I think every scene with my mom, every time I have an inner voice or an inner thought that's playing out on screen in the show, that is just like, oh my God, am I living a dream, or is this reality, what's happening? And then there's also all the parts where I'm conversing with my best friend on the show, because those are also bits and bobs that I've taken from my real life and from conversations all of us girls keep having. So I almost felt like, oh my God, I'm living this again. Um, yeah, and there was also a few sad parts where there were people, loved ones that I lost, who had passed on, and we kind of put that into the show, and that was a bit tough because somehow I realized that my release and my closure happened through filming that show, through filming that scene rather.
What are things that you absolutely won't do on the show?
Absolutely won't do the show. Wow, tough to say after season two, but I don't want to say anything actually, Jitesh. I'll do everything. But I want to try and be as protective of my loved ones and their private life, or how I show them and what light I show them, especially my parents. So that's something I wouldn't go into a territory which I think might be disrespectful. Poking fun is fine, but disrespect, I don't think that's something I would go into.
I read somewhere you faced some amount of racism and some amount of body shaming when you grew up. What would you be as your advice as a popular icon, pop icon, to people battling with such issues? What, from your personal experiences, what would you have to say?
All I will say is that no matter how much you achieve in life, or no matter where you go, no matter what happens to you or what opportunities come your way, I think the color of your skin, or how you look, or the shape of your body, the size or the weight of your body, I don't think these should ever be a measure for how badass someone can be, because people will, I mean, I have taken every single nasty thing that has been said about me to me, uh, be it, by people I know, by people I don't know, whatever. I've just taken that and I've made it a package. And I've made it a package and I've decided that I'm going to sell that package. So I'm very clear about it. I'm shameless about it. I'm very unabashed and unapologetic about it. And I think that's my one advice to people. Whatever people throw at you, catch it, package it, and use it to your advantage, because it's yours.
Give me an example.
I think everything that was said about me, even in terms of acting, I mean, this whole show is my rebellion. I told you that, I think, in season 1 when we did the interview as well. This show is my rebellion. What I'm going to be doing in season 2 is also a rebellion. Because every time I think people like putting you in boxes and say, oh, but you're a designer, you should do this. And you should make clothes and you should do, well, why? If I like doing many things, why wouldn't I do them? Secondly, about the color of my skin and about the way I look, I think I'm not considered a conventionally good looking, or a conventionally Indian looking actor. I took that, I caught on to that, not a compliment, I caught on to that negative remark, and I've used it. And I think all the work that I will be doing in the next couple of months, you'll see, is going to be a rebellion in that form as well. So I think that's what we should do. That's what young girls and boys should do. Take what's thrown at you. Don't miss it, because that's your ammunition, I think.
I read a book, it was pretty candid, and while there is regret about marriage and all of that, what did you feel when you read the book?
Don't kill me, but I've only read my chapter. Too bad.
Stupid.
I've only read my chapter. I've read the first chapter, which is Lallu Ladki. Not first, I think it's one of the chapters, Lallu Ladki, because I was very interested in about that part of her life. So yeah, I think I don't have much to say about the book, because I've only read those 2 parts. But I'll tell you something. I'm very surprised that a lot of people said that she regretted marriage and a bunch of other things, because to me she just seems like somebody who doesn't regret anything. She doesn't she's someone who has, I think, taken it all on her chin and is just going through life. Whatever's coming at her, I think she takes it with a pinch of salt. So I'm very surprised. But I'll tell you something, I was very proud because I was reading, I read the first draft when a couple of months back before the book came out. And I remember I told my mother, I said, you know what, people are going to think it's scandalous and is going to basically rip everybody apart, but that's not what it is. And I was so proud that it wasn't that, because I think when you reach that stage of life, and for someone like my mother, who you would think has a lot of bitterness because of the cards she's been dealt, I didn't see any bitterness in that book. And I didn't see anything that was meant to attack or demean or anything to anybody, is what I thought.
What have you learned from your mother? Have you lived vicariously through her, especially when it comes to relationships or dealing with men?
No, I've learned from her. I think I've learned not to repeat the same mistakes that she made. And I think that's something we always sat down and discussed, especially when it came to men. I think we tried not to relive her mistakes, because I think somehow subconsciously, when you see a parent or you see a friend or someone you're close to, you try and you become like them, or you react like them in certain instances. But I just found that I didn't want to repeat the mistakes that she had made, and I wanted to be, but I also wanted to take her strengths, which are vulnerability. She's also a bit naive, which I'm also okay with being, and I'm happy being like that. I don't want to become a tough somebody who's tough on the exterior but still has whatever's going on inside going on. I don't want to do that. I want to just be myself.
You come from a position of privilege and not entitlement, but being entitled. But yet you've had your own share of struggle, with various stereotypes and, battling. I remember you talking about your battle with your weight. Did that give you like low self-esteem and all of that?
Yeah, the thing with privilege, Jitesh, is that when you are in a position where um, you have issues with the way you look in the mirror, that privilege, suddenly you start hating on it. You start thinking, oh my God, why couldn't I just be like a fly on the wall, or just be another regular nobody, and nobody would pay attention to me, and I just would, I'd pass by a room and no one would know I was there. But when you don't like how you look in the mirror, you just keep thinking of all these things. And of course, it weighed down on me for years. The way my skin looks on camera sometimes, even today, weighs down on me because I don't have like porcelain.
Do you know you have a absolutely flawless skin and you're stunning?
वो zoom में ठीक लग रहा है. But you know how it is, na? Cameras catch everything. But no, but you know how, I mean, I'm talking about in comparison to all of your leading ladies today, or be it models or whoever. They have just beautiful skin, and they don't have to worry about, अरे मैंने आज एक chocolate खा लिया, अब कल pimple आ जाएगा, and then it's going to be another week full of breakouts. So I think that, to me, is something that always just kind of keeps nudging at me. Um, but I like I said, yeah, I did it. I started a beauty line. I said, chalo, I'll do something to make myself feel beautiful. I think I live my insecurities through, or rather, I overcome my insecurities through the various young people that follow me, and I get better every day. So it's cool.
What's the sort of similarity or difference between the world of fashion and the world of acting?
Both are, there's many. They both are extremely vain industries. But if you find your way, and if you can keep your head up and your chin up, and just keep your own, hold your core tight, I think you can really do wonders. And the second thing is that I think it's also fleeting, right? In fashion, you have one collection, you're a hit, people are talking about you, and then you have one bad collection and nobody wants to wear you. Same with films. I think, you have one good show, one good film, and everybody, you're the toast of the town. And suddenly the next month or the next week, you have another bad film, or something people don't like, and you're just discarded, and the next big thing, next best thing comes around. So I think in that sense, you have to really keep at it. And they're both, I have to say, have been really underestimated as professions, because I think somehow doing a 9 to 5 job or doing a corporate job is considered as the holy grail. But acting is an extremely physically demanding job. Fashion is a physically and a mentally demanding job. It's something that you have to be at 24/7. It's not like you can just go to a party and not go anywhere after that.
Well, that's it. Thank you for being in conversation with me. I had a lot of fun chatting with you.
Thank you, Jitesh. Same here. I will see you on the 9th.
I will see you.
Bye.